Thank you so much for coming in. How are you doing?
Just great. I wanted to Running Man out during
You wanted
once
to
in a
do
while.
Running
That was
Man?
nice, yeah.
You should have. What held you back?
I regret it.
I mean, Halloween is the day when the freakiest stuff goes down, so I feel like anything, it's like fair game.
Should have done it. On the way out,
Slightly
I'll
disappointing.
grab it, yeah.
Nice.
Okay, we won't let you forget. While you all were watching the video, we were discussing how you guys recently made the LA move, didn't you? From New York.
Yes.
Well, you're both from East Coast,
Yep.
and you moved to West Coast. So I'm very curious, because it's something that I'm like considering too. What are the few things as a creative person that you really miss about New York? How does it change your kind of creative mind?
Well, I think in LA, like everyone's kind of in that industry. So in New York, we felt like the odd ones out. You know, we went out to a bar with our friends or something. It was like, yeah, sorry, we're setting our own hours, going to the studio, doing all that stuff. In LA, it's like anyone you meet is like, oh, we should get in the studio. So I think we had more to draw on in terms of, you know, just dealing with everyone in different walks of life.
So the music industry is more expansive out there than New York City, would you consider?
Yeah, for sure.
Definitely.
Huh, interesting.
Yeah.
And so what else do you miss then in terms of like
I feel
atmosphere,
like we
lifestyle?
went out way more aggressively in New York, which I miss.
Okay,
Yeah.
Now we're on tour, so we're going out pretty aggressively.
so you're still getting your fix.
Yeah. I actually found a Patron cap in my pocket on the walk-in today.
Interesting.
good
So were
sign.
you wearing those pants last night, or are they from like...
Maybe.
Is it kind of like when you find like a $20 bill in your pocket, the same level of
It's like that,
excitement? Like,
yeah.
how did this
Yeah.
get here?
Yeah.
Can't quite remember, but I'm happy. It means you had a good time.
Yeah.
So there's loads to talk about because we know you're on tour, you've released a new song, but just to give a bit of context, so talk to me a tiny bit about the background at the very beginning, when you two found each other, when you knew you were a match made in music heaven.
Tell the story. Oh,
Summarize it though, you know?
Yeah.
Couple stories.
it was a cold night.
Yeah, it was.
It's always a cold night.
It was
New
a
York.
cold night. Boston. We were at a party, and I started freestyling. Actually, other kids were freestyling, and then I jumped in and just started, you know, killing it. He was like, I'm in a band. You should come down, sing for us. We started singing, performed at a Battle of the Bands, and we won the Battle of the Bands and got to open for Ludacris and Asher Roth, I remember.
Wow.
Yeah. And
The Decemberists, right?
and the Decemberists, they were great. And so it was like they were on the main stage, and then it was like, and throw it back to the ride on the side stage, and we were doing our thing over
4
there.
sets. That was awesome.
Yeah, we were like a 7-piece funk band playing I've Got Hose, and it was a time. It was a time.
So that's when you were in a band called The Ride, but when did you like part ways with that band and say you're going to be Timeflies, just the two of you?
So I think we had a few parties we went to where we would play like songs that we made for fun. We had a song called Wet that was very aggressive, and that went over well. So we decided we would try to make a real song, and that was Fade, which our now manager leaked to the internet. And then our first real Timeflies song was 3 days later, I think.
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, and the rest is history.
Just history, yeah.
And now here you are.
Here we are.
So Something Wrong is your most recent release. And if you compare that to a few of your previous songs, like I Choose You, for example, the content and the subject matter is a lot heavier, it's a lot more vulnerable. What would you put that down to? Have you guys changed, or, you know, creatively, what made you write that way?
I think this was a bit of like a retrospective, you know, piece here. We had just moved out to LA when we recorded this, and we wanted something after Something Wrong, given the happy, you know, feel-good vibe of that song, to kind of explain where we were. And I think this had, you know, a little bit more subject matter, and you could kind of see where our heads were at and what we were thinking. And I think, you know, everyone thinks that in the music industry or whatever industry you're in, thinking, you know, am I doing the right thing? What am I doing right now?
So then talk to me about that in real life, because I listen to the lyrics and I'm like, it is kind of like a big, like, F you to self-doubt.
Yeah.
To put it, like, logically. Because, you know, it's hard if you're creative and, yeah, you're always, like, doubting yourself, but, like, obviously you're really talented. So was there a certain experience or a culmination of experiences that led you to, like, come up with that content?
I think definitely. I think the culmination of our entire, you know, when we came up from Timeflies Tuesday and then started putting out the 2 albums, I think it stopped just being Rez and I in the room making every single decision. And the minute you open that door, things change, not necessarily for the worse or for the better, but I think it makes you almost devalue the importance of your own opinions and thoughts. And this was just like we're gonna do it all wrong. That is what we did in the beginning, and that's what we want to continue doing, and just keep messing things up because no one wants to sound like yesterday. We want to sound like, you know, if it sounds wrong now, it's going to be the future. You know?
Yeah, it's kind of like at the start when you don't really, so to speak, know what you're doing. You're just doing what feels right, and then that's the right thing to do.
Exactly.
So creatively then, are you guys, when you're making the songs, I know you're the producer and you're like the lyricist and the vocalist. Are you in like a set studio? Is it a home studio? How does the process work? And is it the beats first, the lyrics first? What goes down?
So on our last 2 or 3 songs, since we moved to LA, we've been doing it actually in my basement, which is a nice sort of return for us to be able to go to what we used to call Creech mode, where we just sort of get weird until we're happy with the song. But yeah, I mean, I do miss, obviously going to a really nice studio. There's something like cool about that, and it's like very sterile and clean, and it's nice to have somebody who will go get you a sandwich or whatever. But now we get our own sandwiches, and it's the music got
BYOS,
better.
bring your own sandwiches, guys. It's vital.
It is vital. Yeah, no, I think that's been really important for our process. And
then it's just the two of you in that
just the
process,
2 of us,
is
yeah.
it?
I mean, sometimes we'll do like collabs with other people, have them come over and hang,
But usually it's like we talk about a bass line or chord progression, start playing, and he'll start
Right.
building a beat, and I'll start writing in the background. And then it's kind of like, what do you got? What do you got? And we'll start putting things together. And we're just vibing really well out there. I think it's a little different because it's a return to form. It's like, I see some people out here who know us from the, from day one.
OG fans.
Respect.
Who are they?
OG
Put your hands up.
fans.
Put
What's
your hands
up, guys?
up.
How you
Here they
doing?
are. Everyone is putting their hand up. It's the
love
whole
it.
crowd of OG fans.
Yeah, so, I mean, during those day one days, I mean, we were, the mic was set up wherever it was set up. I mean, we had Timeflies Tuesdays in the back of the bus where you can hear the engine, like, humming. It's like, and as regrettable as some of those things we look back on, we're like, man, that was not the most professional thing in the world. But I think we've come to realize that those are, like, finding those raw things. I mean, that's what we've done. We built a studio in the basement. We don't need the pristine Michael Jackson recorded here, even though that's the coolest thing ever. But that is cool. But still, just doing it ourselves feels like we were talking about before. We've closed the room off. It's just us making those decisions.
Yeah. So is there a sense of then when there is other people in there and managers and other producers, is it like too many cooks? Like how often, ratio-wise, when it's just the two of you versus a room full of people making a song, how often would the one that just the two of you make succeed to a better level?
Depends how well you know the people, honestly.
Yeah.
When you're like hanging out with someone or you're making dinner or something, you're like, would it be cool if I added the pepper? Do you like pepper? Is that like something you'd like?
You just want to know that they like pepper or not.
come up with that?
Yeah.
Great. Wow.
You know what I mean? It's like you're like tiptoeing. And you don't want to say anything's wrong. Like someone will sing something and you'll be like, I like that, but
I'm allergic.
What if? Yeah, exactly.
Please?
Yeah, exactly.
Okay, so it's just how well you know them. Then in terms of like the lyrics are quite vulnerable. So
Right.
yeah, it's easier to write than in front of your friends because you guys know each other so well. But for example, even in Once in a While, the lyrics of that always hit me hard. It's like once in a while I ask myself, what am I doing?
Yeah.
So Cal, are you just like, dude, Rez, you're not even, are you sometimes like, I'm not in that zone, or are you usually on the same page? Do you collaborate with the lyrics?
I think we get in the same mood sort of when we're writing. If I want to be in like a more up-tempo sort of party place, Cal will, get more excited and vice versa.
We try to get on that vibe because it's, obviously there's going to be a huge mismatch if I'm in like a dark, or if I'm like in the club lyrically.
Sort of though. I also like sad songs that still go hard. So,
we're loving
yeah.
sad songs over happy, Because like you said, you were feeling the vulnerability in Once in a While, but then it's dun 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 dun.
But that was also probably your biggest hit, wasn't it? Like 250 million Spotify streams. Like incredible.
Thanks,
Great
guys.
numbers.
Great numbers, not too shoddy indeed.
No.
So tell me a bit about then when you came up with that song, because it's you were on tour, weren't you, when you were writing? And
It was probably like a year ago today. Like it was this tour last
anniversary
year.
for Once in a While.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's hear
Wow.
it. Halloween anniversary.
Yeah.
We actually we recorded it on our last bus, and then I lost the flash drive, which was a real devastating move.
Yeah. So we had to
Happened.
re-record
But
it.
when we re-recorded it, it sounded better. So we'll go with that. Yeah.
I feel like some of the greatest things creative people ever make always have like some horror story like that where it all just went wrong before it became the best thing ever. So Timeflies Tuesdays was like a big thing for you at the beginning. You did a lot of covers. You used to do it once a week. Now you do it once a month. Or ish.
Yeah.
Ish.
Ish.
Why have you pulled back from that?
I think we love Timeflies Tuesday still, but it's a love-hate relationship. I mean, obviously, it's really fun for us to get to take some song, remix it. Cal does a freestyle. It's fun. But we also we spend hours and hours and hours on our original music, and then Timeflies Tuesday is like, it's Monday night, we got to do one.
And then they get
They're
so
just-
many views, and you're
Yeah,
like, oh,
and
come on.
we're not as, I don't want to say we're not as proud, but it's not like
Yeah.
our best work. So I think we've been focusing more on original music, but we should do more Timeflies Tuesdays. We're gonna start that again.
I think it's fun to do that. I think we just got to a place. I remember a turning point. We were at a bar in Ohio, and we heard them playing one of our Timeflies Tuesdays over, and people were going hard to it, and we were like, people are rocking out to. We need to mix these better. There should be a second verse and a bridge, and we started making them full songs.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, we're scrambling to finish original music so we can do Timeflies Tuesdays. And we're like, this is weird. We should be creating original music first and doing that. And so we've been working really hard and have a lot of great music we're proud of. But I think maybe we'll go back to a style of just like, that off the cuff feel of freestyling live and one verse or something like that. I think we'll get some Timeflies Tuesdays coming again.
You can mix them in there.
Yeah, we'll throw them in. You guys want some Timeflies Tuesdays again?
Sure.
Yeah?
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
So then in terms of a lot of cover artists sometimes are, sometimes aren't, but they don't actually have, original music too, because the cover artists do so well. Is that difficult then, to be someone who's able to deliver the full product creatively, but then, people knew you, it was like a TV show, go home and watch Timeflies Tuesdays, and a lot of fans would turn on YouTube on the TV just for that. Is it frustrating? And, did anyone ever give you good advice? I heard you were at dinner with someone special one time.
Oh, you heard that.
Yeah,
Great
is
segue.
that true?
Wow.
Yes.
I think it was a lunch.
Ferrell, no, it was dinner.
All right, I'm wrong.
It was dinner.
It was dinner.
It was dinner. It was more like pre-dinner drinks.
Oh, nice. Okay.
It's like lunch.
And he said
Wait,
something.
who's he? Did we
Oh,
say his
Ferrell,
name?
sorry. So
Specific
we met,
details.
and we were saying, we're thinking about transitioning, not out of Timeflies Tuesday, but doing it less just because, it's creatively running our lives right now. And he was like, you've built a church that people love coming to. Why would you just stop the sermon or something like that? No, and it was one of those things where...
He did the church and the steeple thing.
Yeah.
That's how I remember
No,
it.
he didn't, did he?
I think he might
Here
have,
is
yeah.
the church, here is
There's
the
a
people.
0% chance that happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
He built a diorama and brought it in today. No.
Very invested in your future.
I mean, it was definitely... it's an interesting point. And he had a point. But I think he saw that as, this is what people want, so just keep giving them that. And I think every person in life, brand, anything, has like a pivot moment where they're like, but this is what we want to be.
Yeah, did you kind of wish that he said the opposite? Were you almost disappointed with his enthusiasm for your covers?
When you meet someone as inspiring as Ferrell, you kind of want your philosophical mindset to match up with theirs. So we were like, maybe we should go with Ferrell on this one.
Yeah.
But we didn't.
Okay.
And I'm,
so for
and I'm
us,
happy about
sometimes,
it.
but that maybe that's what something wrong is about,
Right. Did we
Just
do
gonna
something
do
wrong?
it all wrong, right?
Not listening. Yeah, exactly. Do it all wrong.
So you're currently on an American tour, Party in the Basement tour.
Yep.
Tell us a little bit about that and how you have different themes for each night and how it works.
So we have the most unbelievable fans in the world. They've been incredible. The last couple of years, we've been doing a similar tour and playing some of the same venues, and they've been awesome, big shows. But we were talking, before we're about to do our first international run, and we were saying before that we wanted something with a little bit of a different feel, and kind of a return to those old days when we were showing up in a van and doing those van tours, that intimate, small room basement feel. And so we put up the Party in the Basement and made it like, what would happen in a Party in the Basement? You have theme nights, 80s night, tropical night, yeah, and we have zoo night,
neon,
and then change them last minute to Halloween night, and it's like a feeling we missed. I'm sure you can think about it, but when you go see your favorite artist in like a huge room versus the thought of seeing them with like 300 people, it's like an intimate feel that just it's completely different. And as a performer, it's so different.
So with
Really
the theme, how close to the night or how close to going on stage do you find out what the theme is? And
we did,
is the audience all dressed in
We
theme
did like
as
a
well?
voting thing, so they got
Okay.
to vote on in every city what they wanted it to be. And aside from I think one show that we changed to Neon Night, we went with everything they picked. Yeah. So they'll know, and then we'll obviously the day of tweet it also a few times.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's the
It's been pretty
weirdest-
good. People are into it. Yeah.
What's the craziest suggestion you've had that you're like, hey, You know, it's like
I think Zoo Night's going to be pretty weird. That one, a lot of animals. Yeah.
There have been a lot of things out for
I don't know what we're gonna do
Harambe.
for that.
I'll say that.
Yeah.
Yeah. We'll leave it at
Support,
that.
though.
Yeah, yeah.
Sweet.
I had
Yeah, it's nice.
a ticket out for Harambe last night.
Oh, did you?
Yeah. Not actually, but
okay.
well, maybe. Not on stage.
It's ambiguous. So then what's to come then for the 2017? Because obviously 2016 was huge. Once in a while, Something Wrong came out. You're on tour. 2017, rest of this year, what can we expect from you guys?
We have so much new music that we're excited about. 11/11, I'm just going to say that.
We've
Just
been
throw it
putting out
there.
these cryptic messages about 11/11.
Nobody knows what it is.
Are people making wishes of what it's going to be?
Oh,
You know?
Ooh.
11/11, make a wish.
right.
If you get it right, maybe they could get like some VIP passes.
Do you want
I'll
to?
invoice you.
Okay, good. I like that.
It's a good idea.
That's a good idea. I think maybe let's do it here. Should we just say it here?
Is it happening?
Are we getting
The
an
premiere of this?
exclusive?
So 11/11, we will be releasing our new song Gravity.
Ooh, wow, that's great.
And
That's the first time. That's nice.
Oh my God.
Sounds good.
No, I was like,
sounded-
they were going to tell me
it
backstage.
sounded
I was
right.
like, no, save it for when we're on stage. So I'll be surprised because that was my
yep,
very
Gravity is coming out 11/11, and we're super fired up about this song. And it's like, I don't know. It's just we've been like hiding messages on the laptop and Instagramming these
Yeah.
emojis.
Yeah.
It feels like
That's what the
just a
emoji
relief.
Instagrams are about. 'Cause I
Yeah.
was wondering what they were.
Did you like piece
Wow.
them together and try to?
No, I haven't done the puzzle yet.
When you hear the lyrics, you'll understand.
Okay, so what can you tell us any more about the song?
It's dope.
Wow.
It's super dope. Yeah.
Profound. I can see it now. Quote, Timeflies' new song says it's dope.
Yes, yes.
It's Gravity.
I like that.
So collaboration-wise, I mean, a lot of the songs that are like Billboard #1, Billboard 1 to 10, even now, like Chainsmokers, Halsey Closer, it's been #1 for how many weeks? Collaboration-wise, who is it that you'd love to like enlist to make an absolute hit? Or
Well,
are you working with anyone?
We
at the
actually
moment?
enlisted Albert Einstein on this
For
song.
Gravity?
Yeah.
Yes, and he's going to get some pub, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, we have 2 songs. I don't know if we can say who they're with yet, but we're really excited about that are 2 female collabs. Who would be our dream? We say Hans Zimmer a lot. Hans
Who?
Zimmer's up there. Hans Zimmer,
Oh, wow.
fantastic composer. Or Regina Spektor.
Oh, that's a great
Yeah,
one.
she has a new album out as
Yeah.
well.
Oh, yeah.
She's great.
That would be, and see, that would be so unexpected. Time flies with Regina
She hasn't called us
Spektor.
back, so please call us back.
She lives
Yeah,
in
yeah.
LA. I mean, you could just like doorstep
Knock on her
her.
door.
You know what you
it's
do?
fine.
You just go up and knock on their door,
yeah.
throw rocks at
Yeah,
their window.
no.
I mean, it's weird enough that I know where she lives, so like whatever. It's fair game. It's fair game.
Sure.
It's
Keep
on
doing
the
selfies in
internet.
front of her front door. It's just not working. Yeah.
Post them on your Instagram, tag her. It'll
Mm-hmm.
freak her out enough to at least direct message you,
Right,
and then the
exactly.
conversation's begun.
That's a good one.
Slide into Regina Spektor's DMs. Is that?
Yeah.
I will.
Okay, I think we have some questions from the audience. Do we? Anyone have any questions?
Hey, thank you for being here. What's your favorite Halloween memory?
I feel like this is a presidential debate with what just happened.
Yeah. Oh my God.
It was awesome.
Ken.
Yeah.
Ken Bone.
Yeah. Wow.
Favorite Halloween memory was probably you were DJing a party and we recorded a song like 2 hours before the party.
This is wet.
Wet, as he referenced before, and then we were all nervous. Like we tried to slip it into the DJ set and see how people reacted, and people went hard to that. So that was an incredible night and probably top Halloween memory.
Yeah.
Do you have another good one?
I was trying to think of any of the lyrics that we could reveal right now from that song.
Yeah, I
Not
want to know
one of
more
them
about
is
this
appropriate.
song
Yeah,
because
no,
you
it
brought
was,
it up twice
No, no, no,
now.
no.
It
You're
was
saying you're
so
nervous
aggressive.
about
no,
dropping
no.
it.
Don't even look for it.
But
Got
it is
nothing.
available
Yeah, wow.
online.
Don't do it. No. For sure not.
No, I really
It's
hope
been
not.
sort of taken down by a YouTube.
Oh, it's never been
censorship.
posted.
One day we'll release that.
It's
but
deep in my laptop.
yeah.
You're gonna drop that song. Okay. Well, we will hold our breath. Anyone else?
Hi. What's the hardest part about songwriting?
The hardest part about songwriting, I think, is staying in like a certain mindset. I remember in college watching this interview with John Mayer and him saying like, make sure when you have like a theme or an idea that you love, stay in that pinhole of focus and write the whole thing there, because it's not something you can just like, you know, it's not like a paper that you can like go revisit and I'll write this part later. Like you have to fully be in that moment. So I think the hardest part about songwriting is having a full cohesive idea that you can kind of, I don't know, like I'm thinking as the listener, versus as a songwriter, it needs to make as much sense to you, or as it does to me, and mean the same thing. So, or mean something as profound to you. So it's kind of trying to capture that thing in terms of lyrics, in terms of production.
No, that's a good answer. I was going to say, I think also just on lyrics, or I guess more the songwriting, I think we focus a lot on beating ourselves or trying to like make things more complicated than they need to be. Not like, sorry.
Yeah.
Figuratively.
Yeah. Like we'll say like, oh, but maybe we could make that line smarter, or maybe if we put another internal rhyme there, and it gets super
Right.
complicated, and we
You're
need
right.
to stop doing that, yeah.
How often do you get stuck on a song? And have you ever, you were saying you want to have an idea, and in the John Mayer interview you said to fully do it in that moment or
Yeah.
on that day or however long. Did you often like start a song, think it's really good, but then get stuck, and have you ever gone back to one and
All
it
the
worked
time.
out?
The bridge
Okay.
of the
Yeah.
bridge of Once in a While before it came out was a whistle solo.
A great whistle solo.
I'm talking like I
Who
went in. Like,
whistled?
I did. I went in
Oh,
there,
Phenomenal whistler.
did you?
and I just started just a monster whistle solo. It was too epic, so we had to. So
The
then
world wasn't ready for it.
the
It's
world
fine.
wasn't ready.
You can
But
save it.
I think, like you said, a lot of like creative, the best moments creatively happen kind of by mistake or from issues like losing a hard drive, losing a flash drive that kind of derailed us for a minute. But I think those things kind of build something better. So we definitely have done things in pieces. You can't finish a song in a day.
We were writing
Yeah.
a song the other day with one of our friends, this guy Scott, and we sat there for hours, and I think we only came up with one line that was good. So then we'll get back to
It's
that
gonna
one
be
day.
great, though.
Yeah, it's a great line. Yeah,
Great
It's a
line.
good one-liner.
It's so good.
Oh, that
Tagline,
It's
done.
so good. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm already sold.
Mm-hmm.
How do you clear your mind then if you are having like a writer's block? Do you meditate? Do you do yoga?
Well, since no one gets us the sandwiches, we walk out and we go get a sandwich.
That's
yeah.
that's true. Coffee.
Get some sandwiches.
We always just go get more coffee.
Yeah.
No
By the time you're back, you're good. Sometimes sandwiches. LA, we've had a lot of like chicken bowls.
Nice.
Good chicken bowls.
Poke bowls,
Oh, yeah.
Poke balls.
quality.
Fresh fish.
You want that?
What are they?
Oh, it's like
I kept seeing them everywhere when I was in LA, and I was like, "Is this like?" It's gonna sound really stupid, but like Pokemon stuff. Like it's like suddenly a buzz thing that everyone's eating Pokeballs.
interesting.
I feel you on that, but no. That's a no. Yes.
It's like chopped up tuna on
delicious.
rice.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's awesome. Some ponzu sauce if you're into that sort of thing.
I'll
am.
see.
You'll see.
Not really into Pokemon, so I don't know. Ash wouldn't approve. Any other questions?
Hi, what have you guys learned from each other by working together?
I think working with anyone, obviously, they rub off on you. I think Cal is much more focused on the lyrical aspect of stuff, and has aside from being able to rhyme significantly better than I can, just has like a cooler sensibility for that. I tend to focus more on melody, and he focuses more on like making the lyrics cool, which I think has helped me a lot.
Yeah, I think it's about trusting the other person in that moment. I think early on we were kind of like nitpicking each other's stuff, and now we'll trust. If I'm on fire writing and melodies, and then he's producing, I'm not going to just like jump in while he's producing. Let the other person finish. Trust the process, and I think that's the most important thing.
Nice. I really feel this is definitely like presidential debate number 2. Say something
Yeah, right.
nice
Kenneth?
about each
Yeah.
other. What are your favorite parts of each
Yeah.
other? Well, guys, thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
It's been a pleasure having you, and best
Thank
of
you
luck
so
with everything to come.
Thank you. 11-11.
11-11.
Guys.
11-11.
Gravity.